said something like, when are you gonna let me taste you or eat?
I'm a princess, a diva, and it's all about me.
Me, it's all about me. It's all about me. It's all about me. It's all about.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Kissxs, cause you know. But I'm back with another video. Okay, period. But I do want to stop and say that this video, this video ties into my last video of how I lied about being kidnapped. So if I didn't watch that video, I advise y'all to watch that before y'all watch this, because then y'all know where the sneaky link comes into play. But for the people that did watch it, let's get into the video. So basically, I met my sneaky link when I was over my sister's house. I didn't get kicked out. I was over my sister's house. And me and my niece, we broke us apart. And this boy kept trying to talk to me. And he was in like a little yellow car. So I'm like, I don't want to talk to you. I got a boyfriend, I got a boyfriend, I got a boyfriend. So basically, he was like, I don't care. We can just text, you lying. I'm like, all right, whatever. So I was like, how old are you? He was like 19. I, to this day, still think that he's older than 19. But hey, whatever floats your boat. So this time I was 16. So I'm like, okay, whatever. So he was like, give me a cake. So I gave him my cake or whatever. And at this time I was popping on cake. Y'all gonna tell me nothing. So I give him my cake, and it's the day that I got glasses on. Y'all see my ring light. So I gave him my cake, and we was texting or whatever. And he was like real cool and stuff like that. Then it was like one night he was like, oh, I want to see you. So I'm like, well, FaceTime me. At this time I had like this little, like, I had an Android, but I also had like a little 4S that my brother had gave me. So at this point in time I'm like, okay, well, FaceTime me. He's like, well, I only got Skype. So I downloaded the Skype app and we was talking on there. We never, like, no, he said he wanted to talk on the phone, and I didn't want him to have my phone number, so I just was like, all right, well, I'll download the Skype app. So we was talking on the phone, and at this point in time my mom didn't have Wi-Fi. So well, we ain't had Wi-Fi. So I'm like, okay, how I'm gonna talk to this boy? So the Wi-Fi, we used to connect to the neighbor's Wi-Fi. So it was either at the top of my bed in the corner or the bottom of my bed in the corner. So I used to be at the top or the bottom talking to him on Skype. So at this time we was talking like for a couple of weeks, and for some reason this day I decided to skip school. I skipped school, ended up getting called. So the next day, right after that I got called, I was supposed to go to church. My mom had took my phone. She didn't take the little 4S I had. She took my phone. So I was like, I was supposed to go to church. I said I would fight. But yeah, I was supposed to go to church to go to the movie to see this movie called Psalms, whatever it is. But it was Black History Month, and back then I didn't really mess with Black History Month. I didn't want to be a part of it, didn't want to learn about it, didn't want to talk about it, because it frightened me, it scared me. To the day, what Black people go through frightens me and scares me, but it ain't to the point where I'm scared to talk about it, scared to stand up for it, voice my opinion. But back then I didn't want to talk about it. Don't talk about it, don't bring it up. So when I was supposed to go to church, I guess I was taking too long to get ready, and my uncle had left me. He picked up my little brother and sister. So my mom was like, well, you better get your butt on that bus. So I'm like, okay. She went to work. So I'm going through the graveyard, about to go catch the bus. I ended up missing the bus. I'm like, dang, like, I'm gonna be late for church. I missed the movie. So I text him. I went to Dunkin' Donuts, and I texted him. They had free Wi-Fi. I texted him, and I'm like, hey, can you come pick me up? I gotta get to church. So he comes, pick me up, and he was like, do you got time to spare and stuff like that? I'm like, yeah, I got time to spare. So we end up, he was like, you want to go to my crib? I'm like, all right, cool. We end up going to his crib. We ended up going to his crib, and was watching a movie and stuff like that, and he got me some snacks. And yeah, so we was there for a while. And after that, I was like, all right, well, I gotta get to church. So we headed to church, and I let y'all know I was outside of the church, and I was like, I don't want to go because I really did not want to see that movie. Like, everything in me, I'm like, I don't want to see that movie. So I'm like, you know what? I don't want to go. So he was like, all right, well, do you want to go back to my crib? Like, what you want to do? I'm like, all right, we can go back to your crib and you can drop me off at my sister's house. So we go to his crib, chill. I took a nap, stuff like that. I'm like, all right, at this point, like, the movie should be over. So a couple hours went by. So, and mind y'all, I didn't have my phone. So during this time, I'm like, I don't got my phone. My mom put me on a bus. So if anything happened to me, basically it's her fault because I don't have a phone. Like, you took my phone. That was my logic that I had in my head. Diamond doesn't have a phone. Her mom took her phone. So whatever Diamond does, and whatever time she gets there, it is what it is. I don't know why that was my logic, but it was my logic. So, a couple hours go by, and I'm like, all right, you can take me to my sister's house. Come to find out, they were looking for me, my mom, my dad, and my sister and stuff like that. So I go to my sister's house, and I lied. That's when I lied. I said I got kidnapped and did the whole 9 and stuff like that. So where he comes into play, this is when my dad took me to the hospital, and they wanted to do like a rape kit on me and stuff like that. They wanted to do a kit on me and stuff like that. So we did the kit, and that's when I confessed, when the police came in and everything like that. And I was like, I was with my friend, this boy that I talked to. So basically it was like, okay, well, how old is your friend? I'm like, well, he's 19. It was like, how old are you? So basically they were like trying to get me because in reality he's an adult. I'm 16. You're an adult. That's big when they cared about stuff like that. So don't be getting in my video, but yeah, so that's when they cared about stuff like that. So this is when they was like, oh, well, text your friend and because we want to talk to him. So I'm texting him. I'm like, listen, if somebody contact you, tell them that you don't know me, because I didn't want him to get in trouble, because the reason why I was out it was because of him, but I didn't want him to get in trouble. Like, I'm sitting here lying. I did the whole 9, so why get him in trouble? So I'm like, just delete our messages and I'll text you when I'm able to text you. So I didn't talk to him for like a couple of days. Then afterwards, he has said something that rubbed me the wrong way, but I'll get to that after I tell y'all why I really stopped messing with him. So I needed my hair done, and I'm like, let me ask him to get my hair done. This is why I don't ask people for stuff now, because I can't rely on people. But anyway, so I asked him to get my hair done, and he was like, all right, I get your hair done, but I gotta wait till my check comes. So I'm like, all right, cool. I told him how much my hair was. At this time, this when I was just getting braids. So he was like, all right, well, I'll give you the money. So then, like, a couple days later, he was like, I can't give you the money because I have to, like, give my mom money. So it was like some lie. I'm like, all right, whatever. But basically, I think I was just mad because he basically told me no. After that, I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. And I guess, like, after everything had happened, I kind of felt like violated. So it was kind of like I didn't really want to talk to him anymore. So one day when I was like on my way to school, he had texted me on Kick or whatever, and I think he said something like, oh, I miss you. I'm like, oh, well, that's nice. Like I said, I did feel violated, so I just started like to talk to him like he was like anybody. So he started bringing up like the song that we was like both into and stuff like that. And I think he said something like, when are you gonna let me taste you or eat something? I don't remember what it was, but I was just like, you know what, that's the end of that. I'm not talking to you anymore. And the sad part about it is we did have a connection. Like, it was like a good vibe, a good little vibe, but because you said that and you're getting cut. So yeah, that's what happened to him. Now he's gone. I don't know, like, I don't follow him on Instagram, don't talk to him, haven't talked to him since. I don't know what he's doing in his life, but yeah, all I remember is that little yellow core and yeah, the time that we spent there one time. So yeah, that was it. Now I know, I learned my lesson. And me telling these stories and looking back on it, I wonder what my daughter's gonna do and what I'm gonna say. But y'all wanted a little sneaky link story time and what happened to him. So y'all got it. And make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see y'all next time. Bye.
I'm a princess, a diva, and it's all about me.